Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and the Precious Metal Summit Conference here in Zurich. And now it's my honor and pleasure for the first time we have Nicola Mining on Commodity TV. And Peter Espig is the CEO and here with us. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning to you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. Very interesting company, I must say, in my little pre-preparation. You have two big projects and a mill. And I saw you already made some money with the mill because it was the latest press release. So maybe you can explain a little bit, first of all, what you are doing, and then we go into medias res.
Sure. Well, we produce gold and silver concentrate at our mill, but I think the more important concept is our philosophy of having cash flow, because you know, we say in Japan, the Japanese say turkeys fly like eagles in a typhoon, and it's very important to not always have to raise more money. Because in good markets, it's easy to. So we worked really hard to position the company so that we didn't have to rely on the next raise to keep the lights on. So we have cash flow from our gold operation, this gold and silver. We also have a gravel pit, a rock quarry, cement plant. So all of these things bring in cash because it doesn't matter where the source is from, and that supports the operations for our expansion, for our exploration.
Okay, super. Yeah, so you're doing that with Talisker now, together with the Merritt Mill, I think it is called, and I think also Cisco development is in the boat, right? What I read. So first, what was that? 64 tons, I think, with almost 98 grams gold per ton in the concentrate. You have also a sales contract with Ocean Partners, sorry, not Ocean War. And so can you elaborate a little bit more with that mill, how you want to move that forward?
Yeah, so the mill so our permit reads, Nicola Mining has the right to accept and process mill feed from anywhere in the province of British Columbia, subject to notifying the Ministry of Mining 10 days ahead. So it's very difficult to get permits in British Columbia, and our permit allows us to receive material from anywhere in the province. So I kind of think of us as like, we're not toll millers, but we're partners to our partners. So with Talisker, with Cisco, with Blue Lagoon. And so we actually recently did $1 million investment into Blue Lagoon. So our cash flow allows us to go out and participate in projects as an investor as well. So, and one of our assets that we have 75% economic ownership in is called Dominion Gold. And we're looking at bringing that into a bulk sample production next year. So it's interesting because the cash flow gives you stability, but it also gives you opportunity. So we kind of have both. Yeah,
that's fantastic. So what we say, both flies with one hit.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Okay. About how much money we are talking, let's say for this year, next year, where do you see the growth path?
So last year we did operating. So not net profit, because of when you look at net profit, you're taking out the depreciation, right? So depreciation becomes 4. But if you look at our operating profit, we would have done $5 to $7 million last year.
Oh, that's nice.
And then this year it'll be lower, and one of the lower because we also shut the mill down to automate it. So now we can actually operate the mill with 4 employees. It's fully automated, like chemicals are fully automated. Yeah, it's quite. We put a lot of work into the mill. And then next year, I expect the operating profit to go up again because we plan on bringing Dominion into production. We actually have pretty good visibility of our flow through next year, like the throughput, I should say. So next year is going to be a really exciting year. So, 2023 was here, 2024 was here, and then 2025 will be much higher.
Okay, super, fantastic. So that means rising cash flow for you. That helps a lot when you spend money for exploration. I saw you have 2 projects there. Treasure Mountain is called one. The other one is New Craigmont. And I think also with the metals, you are in the right space, right? Let's start with New Craigmont. What's the status there? What do you want to achieve 2025 there?
So for New Craigmont the Craigmont mine is the highest grade copper mine in the history of North America, major copper mine, bar none. We are adjacent to the largest copper mine in Canada, which is Highland Valley. So the mill is great. So, we have the mill, we're permitted, we're producing, but the key asset that we have, we believe, is Craigmont. And we are, and it's not just next year because we're actually exploring right now. And we haven't released our results, but we're very excited about the program that we have right now. And so stay tuned for the results of that. But we've had several intercepts of greater than 1%. So the grades are there. It's largely unexplored. It's a very exciting project. And that's where the focus of, and again, our cash flow allows us to do exploration as well. So we're not reliant on the market. As far as Treasure Mountain is a high-grade silver mine. So we put the silver mine in care and maintenance in 2013. At the time, silver was $14.60 an ounce, but the Canadian dollar was $1.05 to the US. So it didn't make sense to deplete our resource. So we put it in care and maintenance, but now silver is steady above 25. So it's something we'll review. We actually recently announced the 10-year mine extension for the mine. And we're in the process of getting a multi-year exploration permit. So for the backside, because really the most exciting part about Treasure Mountain or the expansion is the northern side of the property. So they're both company makers. It just happens that they're both in this company.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah. So when they are both company makers, would that mean that you want to bring both mines again into production and process that all at the Merritt Mill?
Well, certainly the silver mine could be processed at the Merritt Mill. A copper project requires a larger mill.
That's what I thought.
So our mill, our site would be able to have a larger mill. I mean, historically, there was a 15,000 ton a day mill on our site. But if we have like we hope to, but assuming that we have a major copper discovery, then we would build a larger mill on the site. But all the infrastructure is there. Okay,
super. So could we say by 2030 the game plan is really to have everything up and running?
That's too far ahead from. I think all I can see is very clear visibility, over the next 2 years. And I say that because my background, I was an investment banker. So, there's always an opportunity to buy. There's always an opportunity to sell. I believe that, think of it this way. How many fully permitted copper projects in the world exist?
Not that many.
With water, with mill permits. So all the permits are in situ. So I believe that when we have a major copper discovery that we'll be competing against other major mining companies who will like the asset, and we would be open to M&A. We would be open to developing it ourselves. It's just too far ahead. It's too conceptual for me.
Let's call it open for business.
Open for business.
Okay, super. So money is not really an issue as far as I understand you. Yeah. Who are your shareholders?
Well, money is always an issue, but we're very comfortable. So our main shareholders, like if I look at our cap table, our largest would be BMO, BMO, Bank of Montreal. Second would be Concept Capital Management, which is a German fund. And then myself and a fund out of Cyprus. So those are the 4 largest shareholders. So if I take the 6 largest shareholders, that would be equivalent to 65% of the company.
Wow, so you're well protected.
Yeah, we've got a very stable shareholder base.
That is fantastic. Yeah. Super. That sounds like a real game plan. Peter, thank you very much for the insight. And we wish you well, of course. And I would suggest bring those 2 in production in addition, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there was Peter Espig, the CEO of Nicola Mining. And you heard it, really interesting company because they have already cash flow from the Merritt Mill. They do milling there with partners together. It's not toll milling, very important. And I must say, this is a great concept because in addition, they have 2 projects which could be producing mines then in the future here. And I really like the idea and the setup, especially all the metals they have, because those are the metals which are in high demand, which are in a deficit. Copper is going into a deficit. Silver is already in the 6th year in the deficit. So really check out the company. Thanks for watching us and bye-bye from Zurich.